Let's talk about wood and the forest in Timberborn 1.0. And no, to make this very clear, this is not a joke. This is actually about woodwork and the forest and how to get the most out of your trees. Now, this is in particular very important to the beginners in Timberborn. If you're somebody who has already played this game, you probably know about most of the information, but nonetheless, it might be good to upgrade your knowledge when you are now returning to Timberborn with the 1.0 release. Now, you probably already know that wood is the most important resource in the game. No matter which of the two beaver tribes you are playing, wood is always the beginning. You need the logs, right? And then whatever you transform the logs into, you need wood. Lots of it. So this is why I highly recommend to get at least one or two foresters online as quickly as possible, because it's not just that the forester will actually take some time to put down the trees, they will also take quite a while to grow. And the biggest question you probably have is, well, that's all great, Mole, but what's the best tree? Come on, just tell me. Okay, here's your TLDR for the best tree in the game when it comes to wood, and that is oak. Oak is the clear winner in all of this, and you want to have as many oak trees as possible because A, they give you the most wood, and B, they take up to 30 days to grow. But now, before you're closing down this video and you just think, okay, that's all the information I needed, I'm out of here, please listen to the rest of it, because the other trees do have a reason why they exist, and they are not just there to basically, well, make the oak feel better. Let's be honest, the oak is already great as it is. It's big, it's thick, it gives you a lot of wood. You know that type, right? It's what the oak is there for. No, the other trees are also very important, so let's talk about that. There are basically two types of trees here. There is the trees which are just giving you wood, right? They're just giving you the logs. And then there are, of course, the trees who are also producing, well, produce. And this leads us to the chestnut tree, to the maple, and the pine. The chestnut tree, very important, gives you quite a bit of a food source on top of giving you wood, right? And you want to have quite a bit of them because you want to cook the chestnut in the game for your beavers. Then, of course, we have the pine tree, which is creating all the wonderful pine resin for you. And you need the pine resin, of course, if you want to have a wood workshop and you want to get the treated planks. So you also want to have a few of them lying around so that you always have enough resin so you can utilize that. And then, of course, there is the last one, the maple. The maple is coming relatively late in the game, and you want to get the maple syrup. And what the maple is doing is you need this for pastries, right? There will be like maple syrup pastries. The beavers like to eat. You can see it right here. It's the maple pastries. They give you a +3 happiness boost. So, but that is coming much later because you need a lot of resources for that. Like, that is not just something you are putting in there in the beginning. So you don't have to think about them too early on in the game. And if you take care of them later, that's completely fine. But ignoring the produce, what are you doing with the wood? So what I highly recommend is that the trees which are doing produce, you keep them as that. You do not utilize them for wood only if it is absolutely necessary. Because you can see it right here with the pine, right? It's pretty simple. It takes 12 days before the pine is at 100%, and then it will only give you 2 logs. That's not a lot. but it will also take 7 days again before you can even get the 2 pine resin out of a pine. 7 days. That's an additional week. So what you could do is you could get the pine resin, right? You have to collect that with a tapis shack, or, well, with the gatherer nearby for the chestnut trees, and then you could cut down the trees. But I do not recommend that at all, because, as I said, the time till you get the produce again out of the trees this takes 19 days instead of just 7 days. So you don't really want to cut them down. In general, when you are looking at the trees here, you will realize very quickly that even if you are running through the tree growing process multiple times, you will never achieve the amount of logs you are getting out of the oak. You can see it here, 30 days, 8 log, right? 28 days, only 6 logs. Chestnut trees, 23 days, only 4 logs. Pine, 12 days, 2 logs. Right? Like, to even get 6 logs out of this, which is still not 8, you would have to reach 36 days. And the birch is even worse, right? You're only getting 1 log out of it, and it takes 7 days before you're even getting that. And now you might be asking, wait a minute. Okay, I can follow that with the trees which are giving me a produce, because they do have another ability which makes sense. But what's with the birch? Like, the math is not mathing. You are not getting enough logs out of the days you are investing into the birch, even if you do it multiple times. The answer for that is you are absolutely right. There is no hidden trick here. This is exactly what they intended to do with the birch, because what you want to do is you want to have the birch. Sorry that I'm clicking on this, by the way. I know this is not a birch. I had my birch here, but I swapped them out. But nonetheless, the birch is there as long as you're waiting. Because, let's be honest here, 30 days for an oak tree is still quite a bit. That's a whole month in the game. And you need some wood in the meantime. So if you have actually planted like a large area with birch trees, they can help you. But even I have to admit, you know what's most of the time more useful? Just getting the resources you have on your map. Like, build a street there, build some lumberjack flags nearby, and get the trees you have on your map. And then you should have plenty of trees when you have used up quite a bit of the forest resources you have at the beginning on the map. Of course, if you are playing a map where trees are not that prominent, then you want to start even earlier to get your foresters in. Put some birch down, right? So that you have at least some log to work with, and wait for the oak trees. So the same is also true for the other trees in the game. You can use them as fillers if you so desire, but oak trees is what you are aiming at if you want to get the most out of your wood. But with that said, if you still have some thoughts, ideas, or questions, let me know down below in the comments. Always glad to read them. I'm going to try to answer them, if there is anything to answer, really, as quickly as possible. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you will leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, you love strategy, management, and building games, and of course, a lot of Timberborn right now, then you might want to subscribe. We're also live streaming here from time to time and not just having videos. So definitely make sure to check them out as well. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.